Oh, hey citizens. So, um, I want you to imagine you're 10,000 feet up in the air. You're flying a Beechcraft once in a airplane. Yeah, let's say that. The weather is clear, but you don't look at the sky. You're staring at an instrument panel. So you are the pilot here. Basically, every dials, every flickering lights tells you what's happening with your plane. But this isn't just a pilot. This is Jim Kais, the CEO of 7-Eleven in 2004. Okay. Why am I starting with this? Because Jim Case didn't just fly a plane. He flew a retail empire. When he took over in 2007, you know, 7-Eleven was, let's be honest, it's some kind of fossils um, under the floor. Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but it's just like not as what the name says. Not the name, but the type of stores. Usually, stores like that is called convenience store. But when he took over in 2000, it's not convenience at all. Um, and it makes why? Because people thought it was just a place for like overpriced cigarettes and also cold hot dogs. But Case had a vision. He wanted to turn this old school convenience store, maybe at the time it's not convenience store, into like money making machines. And yeah, today we're gonna talk about how 7-Eleven use data to read your mind and how they change the way we eat fresh food and why their retailer initiative is something kind of like masterclass in a business survival. So I got the case from what is it? It's from Holmina Business School. Yeah, I didn't bring the printout here, but here, look at this. Okay. Title is the new 7-Eleven. Okay. Don't worry though. I'm gonna explain this to you. Okay. So yeah, this is new 7-Eleven. And to understand this, the new, we have to look at the old. Before Chaos, 7-Eleven was stuck in the past. So basically, they had thousands of stores, but they didn't really know what was happening inside each of them. So it all was about some kind of push marketing. The headquarters decided what you should buy, and then they showed it into the stores. It's like, yeah, they decided, yeah, they like putting everything into the store. If you want a Slurpee in winter, but too bad, maybe they only had hot coffee. There was no connections between what the customers wanted and what was on the shelf. So basically, there's no correlations here. Um, just yeah, like what I said, there's no connections between the store and the customer. So if the customers, majority of the customers wanted a Slurpee, even it's in winter, the 7-Eleven would still serve hot coffee and not the Slurpee. That's what I said. No correlations, yeah. And Case changed game with something called retailer initiative. Yeah, it may sound like another boring corporate term, but wait. In the document, Case explained that this was a cultural shift. So he stopped telling stores managers what to do. Instead, he gave them data. Data for what? You may ask him. So basically, let me finish. He spent $1 billion on an integrated information system. Every time you scanned a Snicker bars, they went straight to the central, what is it? Data center, database. So yeah, they didn't just see what was sold. They saw when, how, and with what. So at this point, yeah, they just looks like an AI data centers at this point. And they turned 7-Eleven from a dormant bacteria or like a dormant viruses into a living and breathing organism that can learn every single seconds. It's just like human brain at this point. And yeah, it is something like that. Now let's we look at the few numbers here. So here at the data, at the document, you'll see something interesting. Yeah, I guess you might be interested. So basically in 2003, tobacco was still a king. It nearly like 30% of sales. But Jim Case knew that tobacco was a dying business. You can't build a future on cigarettes though. So he looked at the Japanese model. In Japan, 7-Eleven is famous for fresh, high quality, and oishi. Oishi is the word, the Japanese word for tasty. Yeah, something like that. Food like that, yeah. The tasty, fresh, and high quality food. So he made a bet. He wanted more 7-Elevens away from cigarettes and beer and toward a fresh food and service. But how do you sell fresh sandwiches in a gas stations? Most people would say gross. I would also say gross. Like um, if the gas stations, some of the gas stations in USA is actually not that clean because it's self-service. Yeah, most of them, at least in some of the states, and it's just gross to like having food there. But wait, okay, wait. Case fixed the supply chain, so he built like something kind of daily delivery systems. So what's these things is most retailers get deliveries once or twice a week, but 7-Eleven, they basically did it every single day. So this is the fresh delivery model. If a sandwich doesn't sell today, you won't see it tomorrow. Yeah, it's gone tomorrow. By the tomorrow, the sandwich will gone. Even if you like, what is it? The maximum you will see the same sandwiches is at that day, only at that day. By the next day, that sandwich is gone. So basically, they use data to predict weather. Yeah, to predict weather. Yes, the weather. If the data said it was going to be hot tomorrow, the systems basically told the manager to order more Slurpees and salads, not hot dogs. And this level of precision is one of the reasons why that their stock price grew from $9 to 16 in just 2 years. So yeah, at this point they weren't guessing anymore. They were calculating more. They didn't just sell some things here. But Case didn't stop at sandwiches. He wanted 7-Eleven to be like some kind of destinations. If you see at the document where they discuss the VDC or virtual distribution centers, they realized that they didn't have enough space in the stores for everything. So they used technology to bring services in. And also they introduced VCOM, a kiosk where you could pay bills, cash checks, and even buy tickets. And remember ECD, you know, that one kind of medicines? Yeah, that's it. The disposable DVDs. It sounds crazy now, but yeah, it sounds crazy because what is it? Yeah, because people didn't use it anymore. But uh, back then, it was some kind of tech innovations. Case philosophy was a simple. So give the customers back their time in a world that's getting faster and faster. So convenience is the ultimate currency. You know, 7-Eleven wasn't just selling products at this point. They were selling minutes. And every minute they saved you was $1 in their pockets. Uh, so what's the takeaway from Jim Case and his Beechcraft airplanes? Let me think something. Kind of a dry throat, huh? Anyway, let's continue. So, what's the word? Takeaway. Yes. What's the takeaway from Jim Case and his Beechcraft airplanes? Like I said in the opening. So, basically, success in business and in life is about two things. It's the instruments and visions. You need the instruments to know where you are, but you also need the visions to look out to the cockpit windows and see where you want to go. And what's the instruments here? The instruments here is the data and the technology. You know, you need those. And what's the visions? It's the cockpit window. No, I'm just talking. It's the the visions is some things in your mind, the destinations that you have been pointed in your mind. So basically, with instruments and visions, you can operate your Beechcraft airplanes smoothly and not without problem. You know, yeah, that's it. So you need the data, the technology, and also your mind, your destinations, what you want to achieve, something like that. 7-Eleven survived because they weren't afraid to kill their old self. Um, they stopped being a convenience store and become a data company at this point. But apparently happens to sell donuts. I never see an AI data centers that sells donut though, but I don't know. The maybe they had the stand on the data center. I don't know. But yeah, my name is Bangkit Boy Alfaris. So the next time you walk into a 7-Eleven and see a fresh salad or a kiosk, remember, Jim Kai's in his cockpit. He wasn't just flying a plane. Well, he flying the plane, but um, he driving the way we live, or he was reinventing how the convenience store should be. So basically, that's it. Stay critical, stay hungry, and as always, stay rational.